Hello, everybody. Welcome. This time we're going to talk about Grammar Plus Part 1A, and we have to practice verbs followed by gerunds or infinitives. As you can see, we have this chart. These verbs are followed by gerund, then this one's by infinitive, and then we have some expressions that are followed by gerunds. As well, there are some verbs that change depending on the meaning. Depending whether you use a gerund or infinitive. Now, let's gonna go and check out the answers of the exercise. As you can see here in the first part, is just adding the right collocation, the correct verb, and then you need to check on the chart what is in front. So if it's a gerund or if it's an infinitive. As you can see, we have here, he volunteered, they discussed, she stopped, and then we have here, Zafre has trouble, and finally we have denies. Then you can look at the chart that not all the verbs are conjugated in the same tense, as you can see. So here we have the base form, but it doesn't mean that it needs to be exactly like it is looking right here. So we need to go and check out the tense, no? So then we're gonna collocate the verb that corresponds in front. As you see, practiced. So we have to look to practice, and it's here. So it's a verb that is followed by gerund. Now, in this moment, I'm gonna show up the answers. You can pause the video if you haven't done your exercise. And here we go. So the number one is speaking. I practiced speaking English with American friends last night. He volunteered to help. So this is a verb that is followed by infinitive at a hospital fundraiser. And then number three, and they discussed going somewhere exotic on their vacations this year. Number four, she stopped talking to him because they had a big argument. So in this case, this is a verb that it changes with the meaning. If we use infinitive or gerund. Next, we have my grandmother has trouble. This is a phrase that it requires gerund. This is getting to our family reunions. Remember to use the correct spelling. So when you have a consonant, vowel, consonant, we need to double it. And then Laura always denies. So it's another verb that is gerund collocation. Then in the next section, there's reading. We have to choose the right and correct verb. So you can pause the video in this section and then check it out the answers with me. And here we go. These are the answers: doing, going, seeing, to meet, being, getting, telling, playing. So you have to use a chart, this one, and then you can practice. You can look to the chart and then go back in front, and you can see the verbs, the collocations. It's something that's essential for this. Okay, so that's it of the conversation. Sorry, the Grammar Plus section A. And now we will continue with the section B. We have noun clauses after B. So this is an essential part where we combine the rules with gerunds. And as you can see at the beginning, we talked that we use prepositions, and in front of preposition, we need to use a gerund. The gerund is the ing. So here we have different complex phrases such as downside of, the upside of, the hard part about, the good thing about, the only thing about, the trick to, the secret to, and one difficulty with. So these are complex sentences, well, phrases, and then you can see that there's a preposition in front. Then, as you can see in the next part, we have to add the correct collocation. So after these phrases, the downside of, and look at the verb. Here we have an ing. This is a preposition of, about, to. So these words that I'm highlighting are the prepositions. And you need to add the gerund in front because it's one of the rules. Don't forget that. And next we have the phrases ending with a preposition can be followed by a gerund phrase. So for the negative form, we need to use this order. The secret to getting along with your siblings is that you have to respect their privacy. And then the next section, the next example, sorry, we have the good thing about not being, okay, this is the negative form. This is the way that you need to express the negative form, not being in a big family, okay? So you always get to choose what's on TV. Remember that the relative pronoun that in this case, it's not essential. You can omit it. You have already a subject. It's not part of the subject. And here we have our noun clause after the verb to be. Okay, so now it's time to practice. We're gonna do the next exercise together. The same thing. We need to look back with the right or the correct preposition that is required here in front of this complex phrase. So the best thing about, so it's not like you have to add or you can add the best thing of. So we are working with this certain collocations, and then we have here our phrase. Yes, my grandmother living with us is that she is great cook. Okay, now you can pause a bit in this section, and for a while you can answer your own exercises, and then you can check it out with me. And here we go. These are our answers. Okay, then we're gonna go to the next exercise. In this exercise, we have to rewrite the sentences, changing the noun phrase in boldface to gerund phrases. So here we have this example: the trouble with a big family is it's expensive to feed everyone. The trouble with having a big family is it is expensive to feed everyone. So with, it's another preposition. Don't forget that. And here you can pause the video in this section. And here we go. These are the answers. Okay, so we have the possible answers because they could vary. The trouble with having a big family is it's expensive to feed everyone. The trick to living in or being in a two-income family is you have to schedule family time together. The hard part about having or living in a big house is there's so much work to do. The upside of having or living in a big house is no one has to share a room. Number 5, the only bad thing about having little brothers is I always have to babysit them. Number 6, one thing about having a little sister is they really look up to you. Number 7, one problem with being in an extended family is we have to get a bigger car. You can add that if you want. But remember, when you omit that, it makes sound more natural. The greatest thing about living or having a small house is that bills are a lot lower. And we are done our 2 grammar clauses, A and B section. Then you can check it out with me. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care. See you soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This time we're going to talk about Grammar Plus Part 1A. And we have to practice verbs followed by gerunds or infinitives. As you can see, we have